So are you also still writing marketing copies manually? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to write automated marketing copies using an AI agent. So over here I'm running a digital marketing agency and we regularly used to write marketing copies manually. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the details of my product in my Google Sheet, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to generate me the marketing copy. And further we can add that marketing copy in Google Docs and then Google Sheets. And to do this we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs and then again Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video I'll show you how to write high converting marketing copies using an AI agent. So whether you are promoting a product, a service or campaign, the AI will craft engaging tailored messages based on your key inputs like the target audience, tone and the rest of the details. This saves you time and hours of manual work, ensuring your messaging is always sharp and on point. So let's dive in and see how easy it is to automate your marketing copies. So to do this, I'm simply going to enter the product name right over here, and now I'm just going to enter the features, the target audience, the tone. And yes, now after entering all of these details successfully, I have did the test submission. And now what is going to happen is that using these details, AI agent is going to generate the marketing copy and add the generated copy document link right over here. As you can see, the link has been added, and over here you can see that this is the marketing copy which my AI agent generated. So yes, you can see that within seconds in real time the marketing copy has been generated and added right over here into our Google Sheets. So yes, this is the powerful automation which we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this powerful automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect. So I'm simply going to search for pabbly.com/connect right over here, and as soon as we're going to search for it, it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And over here we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of stars free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in, and as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and as soon as we are going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and on my dashboard you can see that I've created multiple folders in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to learn how to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can simply click on this hyperlink given right over here which says learn more, and now it is asking me for the workflow name. So I want to name my workflow as how to write automated marketing copy using AI agent, and then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL with the help of which I'm just going to create a connection between my Google Sheets and my Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL and then we're going to open our spreadsheet. And now we have to go towards this extension add-ons and then towards this get add-ons. And over here we have to add an extension which is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So for that I'm just going to search for the same extension which is Pabbly Connect Webhooks. So I'm just going to search for it, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And as you can see that I have already installed this extension right over here. That's the reason that it is giving me the option of uninstall. But if you haven't installed this, you're definitely going to get the option of install right over here, and you can simply install this extension right from here. And after installing this extension, you simply have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet, because if you're not going to refresh your spreadsheet, you're not going to get the option of extension and then Pabbly Connect Webhooks right over here. And after getting the option of Pabbly Connect Webhooks, we have to go towards this initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, what we have to do is we simply have to enter a webhook URL and the trigger column. So for the webhook URL, I'm simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm just going to enter my trigger column which is D. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So as you can see that over here what I want is that whenever I add the product name, features, target audience and tone, then only these details should be sent towards my webhook URL. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to simply enter the trigger column and then we are simply going to click on this submit. You have to enter your trigger column according to your specific spreadsheet. And now it is saying setup configured successfully. So with this we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we have to do is I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and now from here we have to go towards this extension Pabbly Connect Webhooks, and we have to switch on this button which is send on event. It is a really important step to switch on this button which is send on event, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in this spreadsheet, automatically the details would be sent towards my webhook URL. Alright, so as you can see that I've simply switched on this button, and now I'm just going to enter the details right over here to do the test submission. I'm just going to enter the product name, then I'm just going to enter the features right over here, then I'm just going to enter the target audience, and at last I'm just going to enter the tone right over here. And yes, with this we have successfully did the test submission. And now what has happened is that this test submission has been sent towards my webhook URL which is towards my workflow. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response of the same. You can see the product name, you can see the features, over here you can see the target audience and the tone. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this trigger step, and now what is going to happen is that whenever a new row is added right over here in my spreadsheet, automatically the details would be sent towards my webhook URL. And now I'm just going to move on towards the next step which is action. Alright, so for my action application, I'm simply going to select it as my AI agent which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to simply search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So we are simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this API key page, we have to go towards this create new secret key. And now I have to name my key. Let's say that I'm just going to name my key as marketing copy right over here. So I'm just going to enter marketing and then copy right over here. And after naming my key, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this green button which says create secret key. And after clicking on this green button, yes, you can see over here is my key. So I'm simply going to copy this key and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So you can select any AI model of your choice. I'm simply going to select it as GPT-4. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter the prompt right over here. And now you can see that I've successfully entered my prompt, which is write a detailed marketing copy using the following inputs. The output should be persuasive and suitable for digital ads and match the tone provided. So over here, I'm just going to enter the product details and the tone so that my AI agent can generate the marketing copy. But I'm not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the product name. Then we're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the features. I'm just going to look for features and map it. Now I'm just going to map the target audience too. So I'm just going to look for target audience right over here and map it. Now we're going to move on further and map the tone. So I'm just going to look for tone and map the tone. And after entering all of these details, we are simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request right over here, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the marketing copy. And yes, over here you can see the marketing copy has been generated. And now using this same marketing copy, I'm just going to create a Google Docs and I'm just going to add that Google Docs link right over here in my spreadsheet. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs. So I'm just going to search for it and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now it is asking me to select my Gmail account with the help of which I want to connect my Google document. Alright, so I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And as soon as we're going to select our Gmail account, over here you can see that Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on this allow, yes, you can see authorization successful. With this, we have successfully connected our Google document account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document name. So over here, I'm simply going to name my document as the product name and then marketing copy. So I'm just going to enter this marketing copy as a static information by simply typing it like this manually. But over here, the product name is dynamic. Alright, so I'm just going to enter the product name and then marketing copy. Now after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that with this, we have successfully received the response that we have successfully created a blank document. Now we're going to move on further, and in this blank document, I am just going to add the AI generated marketing copy. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for my action application, once again, I'm just simply going to select it as Google Docs. And after selecting the action application for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as append the paragraph to a document, which means inserting the paragraph to this blank document. Once again, I'm simply going to click on this connect. I have recently connected my Google Docs account, so I'm simply going to go towards the select existing connection and then save. And after clicking on this save, it is asking me to select the document in which I want to add the text. But over here, I'm not going to select the document manually, but instead we are going to map it. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to switch on this mapping button and we're going to map this document ID. And we're going to search for document ID in the response of our previous step. And as you can see that over here is my document ID, so I'm simply going to map it. And after mapping this, we have successfully turned this field a dynamic one. And now it is asking me for the inserted text. So over here, I'm just going to enter the text, which is the message content. And now after mapping this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, with this, we have received the positive response that have successfully added this text into this document. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to simply add this document link right over here in my spreadsheet. And to do this, I'm just going to add another action step. And first, I'm just going to make this document a shareable one. And to make this document a shareable one, I'm simply going to look for the action application as Google Drive. So I'm simply going to search for Google Drive and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So over here, if you have already connected your Google Drive account, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to go towards this add a new connection and then sign in with Google. Once again, you have to select your Gmail account, give Pabbly all the permissions it is going to ask for, and your Google Drive account would be connected. Over here, I have already connected my Google Drive account. I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save. And yes, with this, we have successfully saved this, and with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Drive and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. Once again, it is asking me for the file ID, so I'm simply going to map it. I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map this document ID. And after mapping this field has also turned dynamic. And now after doing this, what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, over here you can see that this is the web view link which we have received. Alright, so I'm simply going to add this web view link in my sheets. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step. For the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as update a cell value. So I'm simply going to search for update cell value and select it right over here. And now I'm simply going to click on this connect. I've recently connected my Google Sheets account. So I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save right over here. And after clicking on this save, it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. Alright, so for my spreadsheet over here, you can see the name of my spreadsheet is marketing copy generator. So I'm simply going to select the same. And now I'm just going to select the sheet, which is sheet 1. Alright, now we're going to move on further. It is going to ask me to enter the range. So it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated here. Example, the column name plus the row index. Alright, so as you can see, the range which needs to be updated is E4. So I'm simply going to enter E4 right over here, but we're not going to enter E4 right over here manually like this. But we have to map it, right? So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to erase this. And over here, you can see that right now it is E4. But the next range would be E5, E6, and so on. So what is going to happen is that this column will remain same, but this row is changing, right? So I'm just going to enter the column as static information, which is E right over here by typing it manually. But I'm just going to map the row index because it is changing with every new response. So that's why I've simply mapped the row index, and now it is asking me for the value. So over here in the value, I'm simply going to map the web view link because this is the link I want to update on this range. And now I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, with this, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added this web view link right over here in my spreadsheet. And over here, you can see that this is the marketing copy which was generated using my AI agent, and it is added right over here in my spreadsheet. That too without any manual efforts, with the help of this simple and amazing automation. And now what is going to happen is that whenever a new row is added into the spreadsheet, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the marketing copy. Further, a blank document would be created in my Google Docs account. The paragraph, which is the marketing copy generated by my AI agent, is going to be added into that Google Doc, and then further that Google document would be made a shareable one with the help of Google Drive. And then further, we can add that shareable link into our Google Sheet so that my team can review it directly from my sheets only. So yes, with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. And now this workflow is going to run in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. first. This workflow is going to run in backend, all right. Like I showed you in the starting of this video, this is going to run in real time, and as soon as I'm just going to add the details, within seconds the AI generated copy would be added right over here. So yes, now go and try this amazing automation for your own business, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.